keep this quick. All right, welcome into our pregame show, Logistics Plus pregame show of the Class B Far West Regional Football game between Western New York Maritime of Section 6 and Batavia of Section 5. Francis Beck joined by Tim Chifa and Joe Daniel. Guys, we have a team, kind of a matchup of a usual state power in Batavia and Maritime, kind of a newcomer, but they've won 3 sectional titles in Class B in a row in Section 6 in just 4 years of a program. What kind of matchup should we be looking forward to this afternoon?
Well, I think Maritime, there is a reason that they scheduled 2 games at the beginning of the season for this moment. They scheduled their games against Bennett and against Canisius. Those 2 games, they lost 16-0, and then Canisius really whooped them 59-0. Since then, Western New York Maritime, 9 games have outscored their opponents 776-49. So they've been on an absolute tear. And that is the reason that you kind of got yourself beat up those first 2 games to prepare for a game like this and going against a powerhouse like Batavia.
Yeah, I got to see Maritime play with Tom. We did a game, the semifinal game, and they played West Seneca East, and they blew them out. They had the ball twice in the first quarter. Both went for touchdowns. That's why they only had the ball, for like a minute in that game. They can run the ball well. They're going to run the ball a lot. They only threw it 27 times all year with Webster. So you got Copeland, who can also run the ball on jet sweeps. But Damian Littleton, over 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. This guy's going to get a lot of carries today. They rely on the run, and if they're going to win this game, they're going to have to run the ball well against a formidable opponent.
Yeah, Littleton, I believe, was the Freaky of the Week for the show last Wednesday for Frank and Tom. I have him at 14, 29, 17 touchdowns. And then on the other hand, looks like Batavia has a really good quarterback, Jesse Reinhardt, senior quarterback, 1445 yards, 22 touchdowns, also 250 yards rushing with 4 touchdowns there. So a couple key players to watch for this. Also, Francis, this game, on paper, again, like we've seen in the last 3 games, very, very close as far as points per game, 34-35, points allowed 11-11. So, again, on paper, I think we're in for another great battle. It's 2-1 Section 5 over Section 6 so far. So let's see if Section 6 can get back in the W and get another representative in Syracuse.
And Francis, look how close Section 6 has been to winning all 3 games too. Just coming up short. So they've hung around very well in these games.
You look at a Batavia team. I caught their Section 5 championship against Honeoye Falls Lima, and I believe Falls Lima was the number 1 seed in that bracket. And they can do so many things. And this Reinhardt kid, he was so loose on his feet in a good way. He, a lot of you see there's a lot of quarterbacks who are rhythm guys. Like they need their foot planted in a certain way. It was almost like, I think the broadcasters, for Varsity, described him as Aaron Rodgers. He's so loose on his feet. He can kind of throw, not off of any platform, but he's not, if he's planning to throw, he's not stuck in his feet that he has to throw. He can quickly jilt out of it, go somewhere else, or even just run it. So I think he'll be difficult to stop in that quarterback, Jesse Reinhardt.
Yeah, I think that's the key that's got to be the key, and it's got to be what Maritime must have practiced for all week. This defense is impressive for Western New York Maritime. Like I said, only 49 points allowed in the last 9 games. They are very impressive, and they were fantastic last week against a top 3 quarterback in Western New York. Not letting him get the record, right? He tied it, correct?
Yeah, I believe. He tied the record for the most.
I'm sure they were talking about all week. Don't let him get 2 touchdown passes. I guarantee that was part of their game plan. Don't let them get 2 touchdown passes. Held him to 1, and hats off to Trey, right? Trey Kleitz. Yeah, he had a fantastic season. But Western New York Maritime, I was down on the field for that game, and they are very impressive defensively.
I do have to say, I think last week's weather with the snow certainly played in Maritime's favor. They love to run the ball. We mentioned Littleton, and in defense. But this is much different weather. Batavia, if they want to throw the ball, they certainly have the weather to do so. I guess, how does that change? Does that change your game plan at all if you're Maritime defending the pass more often than defending the run?
Yeah, I think so. But we kind of we touched base on this a few times in a couple earlier pregame shows. I don't think you change much at this point. You got to this point by doing your own game plan and doing a certain style. It's more about adjusting on the fly. So, and at halftime, I think that's where your adjustments. But when you're starting this game, every coach in the pregame show or in the pregame locker room is saying, "Let's play our game, our football." They're all saying that. They all got here for a reason. Maritime was at 9-2 or 9-2. Batavia's 10-1. So these guys know what they're doing. They have game plans that they have stuck to the whole season. They're not going to change much here.
Yeah.
You know what, Joe? We saw in the game before a Medina team that hadn't faced much adversity, and when things got close, you could tell that they were new to the situation. That may have cost them a bit. If you're Ty Parker, and maybe you saw a glimpse of that, what's your message to a Maritime team that, other than those first two games that they faced, Bennett, who I'll have an update in a little bit, will be playing later tonight, and then a Canisius team, which one of the top teams in all of New York State. What's your message to your team that hasn't been in a ton of adversity, or at least close games?
Well, I would tell the team it's going to come down to a couple plays, and we've got to be the better team on those plays. And if we make a mistake, let's not let it cost us 7 points. Like when Medina fumbled the ball on the first drive, they had a bad punt and that led to a touchdown. So when something goes wrong, let's get back on track and let's not affect us in a negative standpoint.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, Joe, that's a great point. I would also say keep your emotions in check.
Yeah.
First and foremost, enjoy yourself. You earned the chance to play in this game today. So enjoy yourself, have fun out there. But we just saw a team that had a fantastic season kind of shoot themselves in the foot quite a bit, right? In Medina. A lot of unnecessary penalties. You got to keep your composure, and you got to harness that excitement and the nervousness into, having, success on the field by doing what you do best, and that's playing great defense and run the football right down their throat.
All right, I think that's a wrap. Kickoff should now be underway at Williamsville South for that Class B game. It's Maritime Batavia. That's on the NFHS network. If you haven't already heard, there is a subscription, but we'll get to that real quick before we wrap up. We did get an update on that Class AA game. It looks like last update that McQuaid tweeted out that they are going to be able to play. They did tweet out earlier there was health concerns. They may not be able to play, but it looks like as of right now that is on. So that's good for both teams. We'll have more on that later tonight in our pregame show for that. But for now, we're going to wrap it up. Join us back here for halftime, though, as we react to the first half of Maritime and Batavia, this Class B game. But for Joe Daniel, Tim Chifa, I'm Francis Beck. Thank you for watching the Logistics Plus pregame show of the Far West Regional Football Finals.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to WNYImmediatecare.com for more information.